So we shall next discuss our next module, which is relations and functions. So having seen first order logic, namely predicate logic, the objective of predicate logic is to express a given statement or an argument in a formal way. And while doing so, we ensure that what we express is close to near perfect. What we express is very close to the given context. And when we express things in first order logic, what we get is something like you have a formal expression which is free from ambiguity and which is precise and concise. And the subsequently, once you express them in first order logic, suppose you are given an argument and you are interested in knowing whether the argument is true or false, then we saw the well known implications and equivalences, how to use them to prove so and so is true. Fine. And then we saw some sophisticated proof techniques like proof by contradiction, mathematical induction, pigeonhole principle, wherein there are very subtle arguments. On the face of it, it looks very simple. And unless we apply sophisticated techniques, we may not be able to talk about the correctness of the given argument. And this is all in the context of something called universe of discourse, or given a set and a predicate or a context, and we were interested in knowing whether this conclusion follows from the premise or a given argument is true and so on. Now we shall go little beyond the universe of discourse or sets. We shall start discussing something called cross products. Subsequently, we look at something called relations and a special relation called functions. So if you look at universe of discourse, it could be set of students or set of faculty, set of admin staff. So we work with a set. It is a set, say let it be capital S. It could be set of students, it could be set of faculty, or it could be set of students and faculty. And we started looking at logical expressions. Keeping this, we take an element from S, we ask whether a student is good, whether a faculty is good, and such predicates we have defined. Then we looked at logical connectives to connect two elements of the set. This is all we did. We shall next look at something called cross product. So the cross product is between two sets, and for example, given two sets AB, so we define something called A cross B. What is that? It is an ordered pair, which is why I am using this braces, such that A belongs to the first set and B belongs to the second set. And they both can be same. And I can also talk about A cross A, and where A comma B, such that A belongs to A and B also belongs to A. Fine. Suppose my A is say 1, 2, you can talk about something called A cross A, which is a set of ordered pairs. So I've got 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, and 2, 1. And suppose A is 1, 2, 3, and B is say A comma B, you can talk about A cross B. First element comes from this, then 1 comma B, then 2 comma A, 2 comma B, 3 comma A, and 3 comma B. As you can see that if cardinality of A is 2, then cardinality of A cross A is 2 into 2, which is 4. And in this case, this one is 3 and this one is 2. Cardinality of this one is 6. So in general, if cardinality of A is n, so this is n cross n. So cardinality of A cross A is n square. If cardinality of A is n, cardinality of B is m, then cardinality of A cross B is n cross m. Fine. So we define something called cross product, and to talk about cross product, because we are going just above this, we need two sets, and that is also a set. Cross product is also a set, which is why it comes in this braces, and which is a set of ordered pairs AB, such that A comes from the first set and B comes from the second set. A and B can be same, and if there are n elements in A, then you see that there are n square elements in the cross product. So we next define a relation So relation is also a set. In particular, relation we denote using R. It is a subset of the cross product, and R could be a subset of, one can define A cross A, and one can talk about A1 cross A2, so on up to AN. You are given two sets, both could be same or it could be different, and we define something called cross product. A relation is a subset of a cross product. This can be generalized. You can even talk about a cross product of three sets, and relation is a subset of this. You can talk about cross product of n sets, and relation is a subset of this. If R is a subset of A cross A, then we say R is a binary relation. Binary means two, and you work with two sets, so it's called a binary relation. If you work with this, then R is called ternary relation, and if you work with n sets, then we say it is an n-ary relation. Interestingly, one can also talk about R as a subset of A, and that relation is called unary relation. So just like you need 3 to get ternary, 2 to get binary, and if you have just A, and R is a subset of A, and that's called unary relation. And so if you look at these cross products, each of them is a set, so subset makes sense. Now what is a relation? Relation is also a set, but it is a subset of A cross E. And that's all. Now, having defined this, let's look at some more properties of relations, cross products. We will also look at a couple of countings. Suppose A is 1, 2, then we defined A cross A which consists of 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1 and 2, 2. Now R1 is a relation subset of A cross A, and which could be simply an empty set, and it could be the entire set as well, or it could be just say 1 1, or it could be 1 1 2 2. All this is a subset of this is a subset of this one is a subset of this one is also a subset of this, and R1 could be 1 2 2 1. So these are all binary relations. Okay. Now, similarly, just like if you have n elements, we saw that number of elements in A cross A is n square. Now I am asking, this one is a relation, this one is a relation, this one is a relation. Now we wish to know, given A and A cross A, how many different binary relations are there? Apply the definition. A binary relation is only a subset of A cross A. Now asking for different binary relations is equivalent to listing all subsets of A cross A. Correct? So answering this is equivalent to counting number of subsets of A cross A. Fine? Okay. Now, independent of this, let's ask this. So now cardinality of A is n. So we wish to know what is this. What is this notation? This is called the power set of A, which is precisely the set of all subsets of A. Correct? Okay. Now let's look at this. A has got n elements. Now we want to know what is the size of the power set of A. So if you look at set, there are n elements, one can give a simple direct proof. So there are n elements, A1, A2, so on up to an. If you look at a set or a subset in particular, this element may be present or may not be. If it is present, I say 1. If it is absent, I say 0. For example, this is one possibility. Now this will give me what? A subset containing A1 and AN. This is a subset of A cross A, and for example, this is a subset of A. Now, suppose you say A1 is absent, A2 is present, A3 is present, A4 is present, and rest all absent, which means you get a subset A2, A3, A4, which is a subset of A. So like this, you can list all possible binary strings. So each of them has got two possibilities, either 1 or 0, either 1 or 0. So each element has got two possibilities. So each AI has two possibilities. 0 means it is not included, 1 means it is included. So now first element has got two possibilities, second element has got two possibilities, nth element has got two possibilities. So we get 2 power n subsets. So if a1 is present, a1 is 1 and an is 1, we get a subset containing a1 and an. If all are 0, then that is empty set. If all are 1s, that's precisely the set itself. So like this you have two possibilities for each of them. So you get 2 into 2 into 2, so many possibilities, and that's precisely 2 power n. So given a set of size n and the power set or set of all subsets is 2 power n. So counting this is equivalent to counting number of binary strings. What is that we did as part of our counting? We said if an element is present, then it is 1, otherwise it is 0. So you are interested in listing all subsets. That is equivalent to listing all possible binary strings. Each binary string corresponds to one subset in A. So if there are n elements, then you see that number of subsets or the power set is 2 power n. We have given a direct proof. One can also prove this using mathematical induction. Okay. Now let's go to this question. Now how many different binary relations are there? That is counting number of subsets of this. If you are given a set of size n, then the power set is 2 power n. And to us, cardinality of A cross A is n square, which means power set of A cross A, that is precisely what number of distinct or different binary relations. What is this number? This is 2 power n square. So power set of A cross A is precisely is what we need to list all binary relations on a set of size n. And that's equivalent to listing all subsets of A cross A. Just now we have seen if there are n elements, then number of subsets is 2 power n. If there are n square elements, then number of subsets is 2 power n square. So far we discussed, given a set say ABC, we defined something called A cross A, that is set of ordered pairs such that the first element comes from A, the second element comes from the second A. So the possible values are this, then BA, BB, BC, CA, CB and CC. We also saw that if cardinality of A is n, then cardinality of A cross A is n square. Then we looked at something called power set of this, and that will give us all possible subsets of A cross A. Interestingly, each subset of A cross A, what is it? That is a binary, a relation on A. Then we asked how many different binary relations are there? So the number of different binary relations is precisely how many different uh, subsets are there in A cross A, which we saw that it is 2 power n square. Fine. So on the similar line, one can talk about A is given and unary relation is a subset of A. So the number of unary relations is precisely the cardinality of power set of A. So number of unary relations is 2 power n. So given a set of size n, one can talk about ternary relations. So the number of different ternary relations is precisely the power set of A cross A, and there will be n cube elements. Its power set will contain 2 power n cube elements. So in general, you are given n sets A1, A2, so on up to An with cardinality of say Ai is Ni, then the number of n-ary relations is precisely 2 power n1 into n2, so on up to nn. There will be n sets. The size of the first set is n1, second set is n2. So which means this many elements will be there in the cross product A1 cross A2, so on up to An, and all subsets of that you get to list all n-ary relations. That's precisely 2 power n1 into n2 and so on. So now what we shall discuss some properties of binary relations. We will work with binary relations as part of this course. So you will be given a set, a cross product and a binary relation defined on it. Now we shall see some interesting properties defined on the binary relation.